and from 24 millimeters all the way to 720 equivalent millimeters. This is the Sony HX99 at full zoom, and I'm pulling it even closer with some digital zoom. It's starting to look kind of muddy, but overall it's pretty awesome how you can zoom this far from a tiny little camera like this. I know the sensors probably doesn't have the same quality as a big one, but yeah, this is my Sony HX99 review. I bought this about a couple weeks ago and actually had enough time to play with it for a fun review. DSC-HX99. I've been trying to look for a travel camera that's a little lighter than my A77 300mm. So I usually travel with a 300mm DSLR as well as my Tough Cam from Olympus TG3. But I wanted something with a flippy cam so I could start vlogging, but the DSLR was just way too heavy. And it was basically 3-4 pounds for that thing. But I like the fact that this had electronic viewfinder, which I love electronic viewfinders because a lot of times you're shooting in bright sunlight. So this was really cool and it kind of fits the bill. So just a quick unboxing. I got this used or refurbed. So it's pretty cool. I got it for about $400. You can buy this new, and I'll leave a few links below, for about $450 new for retail, which, to be honest, that $50 savings wasn't really that much. I would have just bought it new. Thinking back to it, it's actually an awesome camera. The quality, image quality is a little different. I've owned this for about 2 weeks now. I love the packaging in terms of how small this thing is. It has that electronic viewfinder that pops up. The viewfinder, which is annoying, if you push that thing back down, it actually turns off the camera, which I don't like. The pop-up flash is right there too, which is nice and convenient. And you guys should twist it up if you want to shoot some bounce flash, but I doubt it. I'm mostly going to use that as a flash to trigger other flashes for slow sync. And anyways, basically it uses a micro SD card. That's the same type you put in your cell phones, which is awesome because I have plenty of those now. I hope that's the new form factor because it's just a lot more convenient to carry. But they're hard to just push in, but they're pretty standard now. I bought this because of a flippy screen because I wanted to do some vlogging in the future for travel vlogging or something else like that. So I wanted a travel camera that could do it. This is nice because it has a touch screen, which is, better than some other ones like Canon. They don't have a touch screen in the front. This is very, very convenient. So you could touch screen it and then, pick your focus point. The only thing is that this is a really small camera, so you could accidentally press that touch screen and focus on something totally off. Now, testing out the super zoom, this is equivalent to like 720 optical and 24 millimeters wide. So I think it's a little wider than that, to be honest. But once you zoom in, the aperture, it just goes really far. And right when it stops, that's 720. So think about how far you could shoot with this thing. It's really, really cool how far you could zoom and shoot. And even with digital zoom, it goes even further. It is a really small sensor, so you see a lot of abbreviations and chromatic other issues like that. But it's for a travel cam. If you're just doing a point and shoot, if you're just buying for fun and just traveling and you don't want to carry like a 10 pounds worth of gear, this is a pretty nice little camera. Quality isn't all there though. The image quality is kind of lacking. It does good facial tracking, which is nice, and the colors do come out really good. If you're shooting flowers and stuff, it's great. The sad part is that the macro focus on this isn't very close, especially when you're zoomed out. You actually have to stand about 7 feet away, which is a limitation. I do like shooting, photography, street photography and stuff, and the light performance on this is kind of lacking because the lens isn't fast enough. It's only a aperture of 3 point something. It doesn't really go that fast, but it compensates with ISO, so your images might have the full detail. But it's still very, very cool for food photography and doing some light stuff, especially when you're traveling, you don't want to carry all that stuff. After owning it for about 2 weeks, I found that the annoying part is the electronic viewfinder. Once you close it, it turns off the system. There's a lot of, and the menu system is extremely difficult to configure. I think Canon has a much easier way of configuring menus and stuff, but after you configure it once, you should be good. I do like the touchscreen, but I've noticed that my hands are too big that it touches the touchscreen when I'm trying to focus, so it loses center focus, which I don't like either. If only that touchscreen could be used as a control panel, that would be awesome, so I could control when I vlog when to turn off and on the recording, or heck, if it was voice control, would be awesome too. Another thing was that the focus ring is kind of weird. Actually, it's not a focus ring, it's a zoom ring. and also aperture ring, but I don't like that. I prefer if that was a focus ring, so I could find focus faster than than hitting the screen and pointing. But overall, it's not bad. Leaving it on auto mode is actually really good. Intelligent auto, it automatically does like slight multiple photo stacking to get the best image, which is nice. I do like that. And leaving it on automatic is extremely useful. You also switch it to manual mode, which is nice as well. The diopter actually pulls out, and I found this kind of hard doing with one hand. But once you pull it out, you could adjust it for eyeglasses or anything else like that. You see a little switch there. But overall, it's an awesome camera with a nice lens. Has some Zeiss glass on here, and it is a 3.3 to 6.4 or aperture, which is not very fast, but hey, this is a $400 camera, and it comes with an electronic viewfinder. So actually, it's a $450 camera, I think. But overall, not bad. It does have Wi-Fi and to connect to your phone, and also near field connection, but I haven't got that to work. I tried a lot of times. The Sony software on the app doesn't really work very well on my Android. I never got this thing to work to transfer photos over, and that's a big disappointment. The Canon and also Olympus software works fine. You just connect to the Wi-Fi and it works. I do like the battery. It lasts about for 200 or so more shots, and it did do a lot of video for me, so it's pretty cool. The convenience factor is that it does recharge via USB, which is extremely useful. I found that you don't have to bring another charging device or another thing to take up a lot of space. You don't have to find voltage converters if you're traveling. That's perfect. That's what I love about the design of this thing. Also that grip too. It's easy to grip that with that grip. I don't know why the RX 100 series don't have a grip like that, but I really do like how they integrated the grip on this one. But going further into this, it has a Hdmi output on the bottom. Don't know if I'm going to use this thing, but hey, that's cool to have. It has a tripod mount on the bottom as well. The flippy screen goes up, down, all around, which is up and down, so you can see it shoot from bottom. What I found useful was actually putting a long lanyard on it. This is a neck lanyard that I basically tied a knot to. It acts awesome for stabilization with long zoom shots. I basically tied it off, and this is one of those lanyards you get at at conventions or whatever. Tie it off to one end and then you do it. The USB charging is extremely convenient. Like I said, it charges kind of slow though, but it's still very convenient. Stay tuned for more. Next week I'm gonna compare it against the SX740, which is really nice from Canon. Does the 40x zoom too. It's very similar to the Sony HX99. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, hit the comments below if you have a HX99 or RX or even the Canon one, and like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more reviews and stuff and other travel tips. I'll be doing a lot more traveling. I usually travel with a Olympus TG3, and if you want me to make a review on that one, that's awesome. I love that camera. To travel with that one for like more than 3 years with that camera, and I love it because of what it could do, like the microscope as well as underwater abilities. Anyways, see you next time. Please like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff.